None of our politicians have really been upfront with us about what Brexit means. I don't think Theresa May's done that, or Boris Johnson, and I think the Labour Party has been complicit in that. So it's sort of suited all politicians to say, there's no real trade-offs here. We can have it all. There's a brilliant deal out there.
So I'm a journalist. I work as chief leader writer at The Observer, where I write our editorial column, which sets out the view of the paper every weekend. And I also work as a deputy opinion editor at The Guardian. I've worked in journalism for about 5 years. It was a bit of a sideways move for me. Before that, I worked in think tanks for 6 years, sort of working on public policy, thinking about the world, how we'd like it to change. And then I also spent some time working for Ed Miliband when he was leader of the opposition as well.
I think that is how Boris Johnson got his bill through on the second reading, which is the on principle vote. Yes, we want to look at this bill more. People are exhausted of this, and they're exhausted in Parliament as well as out in the country. And so, you know, there is this big, just one last heave, let's get Brexit done. The problem is that bill is only the beginning. It is only the divorce settlement.
In one sense, covering politics at this time is incredibly interesting and exciting, and there are lots of kind of very high octane moments. Everything feels very high stakes. Every time there's like a big vote in the House of Commons, it feels like a really important moment. And then on another level, in some ways, it's also a bit boring because we've been talking about Brexit for so long, and you have so much happen, but often it's about quite detailed Westminster procedure that probably most voters aren't particularly interested in. So you have to find a way of trying to make that interesting and relevant. But at the same time, all the big questions are still the same, and we're still rehashing, it feels, the same big debates that we had 3 years ago.
We started to see an undermining of our democratic institutions, such that we've now got a Prime Minister who sort of sees undermining the legitimacy of our sovereign parliament as an appropriate campaign strategy. And that is really different from where we were 10 to 15 years ago.
I think the most pressing thing facing the media at the moment is how you respond to populist politicians, whether that's Trump in the United States, Boris Johnson is really playing from the populist playbook, setting traps for the media, setting traps for opposition politicians. You've got, government sources briefing anonymously, saying things that just aren't true. How does the media respond to that is a really big question that is going to shape our political reporting in the years to come, I think.
It doesn't matter how, in some ways, the European question gets resolved. That is going to be there for a long time in our politics until we figure out, until the political class figures out, what do you do about regional inequality, and what do you do about the fact that there seems to be an uneven distribution in the quality of the jobs.